Greetings, beautiful people, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's Movement Medicine Morsel. This week's theme is moving gently with awareness. So, all the movements we do, we want to look for perhaps a new or a different quality. If you're used to moving big, as I know I was many years trained as a professional dancer and practicing rather physical, very intensely physical forms of yoga, that it can sometimes be an interesting creative challenge to bring things back to a very delicate yet very moving and meaningful and powerful effect. So let's give it a try. The other thing is that these sessions are all about exploration and experimenting. You might find that you try on something new and you love it, or you try on something new and you say, that was really interesting. I had a chance to give it a go, but I prefer another way of doing it. So it's lovely to have these choices and opportunities because they, in fact, do keep the nervous system and its connection into the muscles and organs fresh. If we do the same thing all the time, it can become stale. But if we bring in novelty and we bring in curiosity, then there's always a feeling of flow. So that's today's little talk. We'll begin seated, and I will move back a little bit so you can follow along with a bit more view if you want a view. The view idea is so that you can resonate with the movement. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but maybe it'll give you an indication of we're lifting the shoulder. Just kind of follow along. It's a sense of morphic resonance that you receive visually and kinesthetically, a resonance that is also a way for you to catch the movement. Or you may just want to close your eyes and listen. Find out what works for you. We plant our feet, we feel them. We plant our sit bones, we feel them. And from that foundation, we look for a quiet elongation arising through the whole spinal column, right up through the center of the body, through the center of the throat, the center of the skull, and it lifts us and connects us to our inspiration above, or maybe even our own personal star. Let's see about the shoulders, because the shoulders are sometimes confused about, do we go up to the star or do we connect to the earth? It's somewhere in between. So slow, smooth movement. Let's inhale the shoulders up, lift them way up. And if it's comfortable, you can even lift your chin. So we're squeezing the base of the skull and the shoulders together. Now the magic happens in the slow, sustained release, nice and smooth, really letting the shoulders rest and melt at the end. Let's do that again. Inhale, everything is going up, 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 up. If it's too much for the neck, just bring the ears and the shoulders together. Those of you who feel comfortable taking the back of the skull back up there, do it. And then on your inhale, it's really slow and smooth. And finally, letting the shoulder girdle rest completely. One more time. Take an inhale, lifting the shoulders, squeeze and hold them a little bit. Breathe. And then when you come to your exhalation again, it's a slow, smooth lowering with control, with mindfulness, and a full release at the end. Take a few breaths. Notice how you're feeling. Notice where you feel the breath. Notice if anything has changed, if anything is new. And very gently, let's smile and circle the shoulders. Now, this is going to be the smallest, slowest, sweet circle. Now, you can open up the circle a little bit if it feels good, but if you meet any stiffness or jittering or shuddering in the movement or jerkiness, or even if you meet the edge of pain or discomfort, then what you would like to do instead is go smaller and or go slower, or maybe even stop for a moment and visualize. Visualize that you're doing the movement. So we want to end up with a feeling of ease, comfort, smoothness, and pleasure. Let's allow the shoulders to relax. Let them settle. Spine is tall. Rest your hands for a moment on your low belly and feel your breath here. Gently, the low belly expands forward as you inhale. Gently, it relaxes back towards the spine as you exhale. And stay with this feeling and lift the hands up to the chest over the lungs. Now, you can either have one hand on its own set of lungs, or maybe it's a more comfortable position for you to cross your forearms. And the idea is we want the palms to be feeling into the lung region. And see what the breath feels like here. Allow the inhalation to move into the chest and lungs where the palms are touching. And see if you can feel a gentle wave of breath. And we're going to do one more subtle thing for the shoulders. Actually, it's a two-parter. If it's comfortable for you, let the hands hang at the sides. If that pulls too much on the shoulders, just let the hands rest comfortably in the lap. So we're going to exhale, and one shoulder moves forward in space. And don't hold back. If the back wants to rotate a little bit to allow this, please let it happen. And then as you inhale, we let the shoulders settle back to neutral and really rest. So as we exhale, the shoulder reaches forward in space as though you wanted to touch the computer screen, but not straining. And then inhale, slowly come back. One more time. Exhale, the shoulder comes forward. See if you feel something happening in the back of the shoulder, and then relax slowly as you inhale. Just rest here. We're going to do 3 with the other shoulder. Exhale, the second shoulder moves towards the computer screen or towards front for you. And inhale slowly without any jerking, without rushing, settles back. Don't forget that rest. Next exhale, the shoulder comes forward. Notice if anything is yielding in the back of the shoulder to allow this to happen. And relax smoothly. One more. Exhale, the shoulder comes forward, allowing the back to allow, and return. Breathe. Notice how this feels. Notice where you might sense any echoes of the movement. And we're going to do one more variation. I'm going to stand up for this one just because it's going to be easier to see what's happening. It's going to be the same movement, but where the shoulder comes forward and we also rotate the arm. So the back of the hand ends up touching the side of the body. And then we unroll smoothly on the inhalation and the palms face the body. On the exhalation, the shoulder comes forward and the upper arm is also rotating slowly. So the back of the hand starts to turn towards the thigh. And again, only as much as feels comfortable to you. At the end of that one, I felt a little bit of discomfort. So I'm going to take my own advice and make it smaller. On the exhale, one more time, shoulder comes forward. And whatever amount of rotation leaves you with a feeling of comfort, that was better. I made it slower. And then relax. Pause for a moment. Sit for the next one for those of you who are seated. And the other shoulder, exhale, comes forward and the arm rolls in. So the back of the hand rotates in. A little bit easier if the arm is hanging. And inhale, slowly let everything return to a comfortable neutral, really relaxing. And 2 more. Exhale. Allow the upper back to yield. And now the front needs to yield a little bit as we slowly come back. Just one more. Exhale, rolling forward. Feel that rotation in the arm. And then relax back. Let everything hang. Take a moment and breathe. And in particular, notice if anything has changed in your chest, in your shoulders, or not. This is your experience, your body. And for fun, take a little turn from side to side with your head and your neck. You can turn on an exhale and return back on an inhale. And like before, if there's any resistance or discomfort, you want to do less next time, even if it's microscopic, or even if you're simply visualizing the movement. And take a moment and roll your shoulders, see if anything has changed. And we're going to stand up. I invite you to stand up, although you can do today's flow. We're going to tap into the big bird of prana, prana and chi. So this is a little preview. We're going to be flying. Actually, let's play with this a little bit. So we've already done some of those nice gentle rotations of the arms. This is a subtle movement of the shoulder. And let's soften the spine. There's a little bit of a curvature. On the inhalation, the chest and the armpits and the elbows and the hands open. The fingers reach out. And then on an exhale, the elbows soften and we soften. Allow the breath to flow through you. You can even press the feet down into the floor a little bit. And maybe your chin even wants to rise. And exhale, you're softening. Find a way of doing this that feels really delicious in your body. Oh, that made me take a deeper breath, so that makes me happy. And see if something is shifting. Maybe your body and breath are starting to speak through the movement. And if there's any discomfort, you know the rules. Make it smaller, make it slower, maybe even visualize. So the idea of the movement of the bird of prana has a symbolism. It also is a symbolism about opening the chest, releasing the lungs, and allowing more breath to travel, because breath is not exactly prana, but breath carries prana. When we breathe more gently and more fully, then more energy can enter the body and feed our cells, and more old stuff can come out. So for those of you who wish to stand up, you can join me for the standing up, and this next segment also works very well seated. So standing, we're going to bend the knees a little bit. Can't see my feet, but Facebook has changed its camera. And on the inhale, press with the feet. And if you're sitting, you'll press with the feet and let the arms spread, your wings. So we're doing what we did seated, but now the legs are a little bit more involved. Imagine that your lungs are also leading this movement. So as you inhale, imagine that the lungs are expanding like balloons, and they get so big that your arms can't help but waft upwards. Now, the next time the arms come to approximately shoulder height, we're going to stay here and turn the palms forward. We're going to inhale, and the palms slightly press the air forward, and we rock forward. And then the palms turn back and slightly press back as we rock back. Now, this is very subtle, very subtle. And you might find it even more comfortable to have the arms a little lower. So here we come forward, and then we come a little bit back. So the palms are pressing the air. We're feeling the air currents. We're rocking. Let's try exhale going forward. Inhale going back. We'll do the other breath as well. Exhale, lightly pressing the air forward. Inhale back, and we don't want to strain the chest. We want to feel the subtle rotation in the shoulders and the subtle movement of the air as our hands press, almost as though we're sculling through water. Now take a pause and let the inhalation be the rocking forward, And the exhalation, the pressing back, very subtle. See if you can notice the turn of the arms and the shoulders within your chest. And then whichever breath pattern you liked better, do a couple more of those. So we tried it with the exhale and the inhale coming forward, and the other breath, of course, coming back. If your arms are getting tired, you can start to lower. In fact, let's all lower the hands a little bit, continuing the same movement. There's a gentle rocking forward and back without throwing you off balance, but you're shifting towards the balls of the feet and towards the heels. And allow this to come to its own gentle finish. And now see how the shoulders feel. And now we're going to do the flying phoenix. So bending the knees and cupping the hands as though we're holding a ball of light. Just feel this position. There's a sinking in the hips, a connection to the earth. You can also do this in the chair without the bending of the legs. But there's this suspension above. You're floating, and everything is loose and relaxed. Nothing is stiff. Exhale, the ball is small, the ball of light. Inhale, the ball of light expands, your lungs expand, and you open your wings. Exhale, everything relaxes, and you come back to the small ball of light. Inhale, the earth energy comes up through you, the heavenly sky energy supports you from above. And feel the integration. Every part of you is breathing. The expansion is an opening, lifting, enlarging movement. The exhalation is still powerful, but it's a lowering or a condensing movement. And we're going to do one more where we come to the big opening. The inhale, we come up, and we still inhale as we draw the wrists, elbows, and knees in. We're gathering energy to the center. And as we exhale, we claim our full height and space. As we inhale, we draw the resources in, air, earth, sky. And as we exhale, we push out and we take up space. Our boundaries are clear. Our worth, our values are strong. We draw in and exhale. We feel our quiet power. And one more time, inhale, we draw everything in. And exhale, make any sound you like. Ah, be your big version of yourself. Now relax everything and soften, bending a little bit or a lot, whatever amount is good for you to feel the earth and gather beautiful earth energy. Palms full of earth, energy, nourishment, crossing the arms, and soothing, healing, and nourishing the lungs. We're giving ourselves a hug. Notice your breath. Notice if your breath feels a little bit freer. Notice if you feel a little bit more awake, maybe a little steadier, a little less moved around by what's happening in the world. And your palms are healing and soothing and softening anything that might have gotten frozen or is saddened within. And now the hands become magnets and they pull towards them any of the old energy that's ready to leave. And on the next exhalation, the palms slowly move forward, pulling that old stuff out, and the palms drop to the earth. Inhale, we reach up to receive more inspiration, embrace the sky, and on the exhalation, we're painting a giant rainbow of prana, of chi all the way around us, and gently settling that energy, settling it. Just look around gently with soft eyes. Notice what it feels like to move your gaze. See if you can move from your belly very softly and allow the settling of the energy to come to an end. Step the feet a little bit closer together. That can happen on the chair as well. And then gather all of the energy and fold your hands, bringing the treasure of the energy into your low belly and your sacral pelvic region without losing your connection to the sky. Shoulders are melted. Feel yourself, feel your breath. Notice if anything has changed. Notice what's new. And my dear friends, this brings us to the end of today's little session, exploring the great bird of prana, of chi, of the lift that we can feel within ourselves from connecting to this energy. The energy is always around us, but sometimes we need a little reminder that we can, in fact, connect again. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for your beautiful presence. Drop me a line in the comments box if you have requests or want to let me know what this is doing for you or any changes. I always love hearing from you, and many blessings. And a big hello to the absolutely beautiful Priyanti, who I believe has attended every single one of these movement medicine morsels. So many blessings. You warm my heart in oh so many ways. Bye for now, everybody.